Hey, how's it going? It's October 30th, 2022. This is your daily sweet talk. Uh, Vampires, man. Them things is scary, right? They suck your blood. Like, you don't want that. I don't know. Vampire lore pretty inconsistent. Who invented vampires? Vlad the Impaler is, I guess, the origin of Dracula, right? And Vlad the Impaler was a real person, but he wasn't a vampire. Like, how did he become the legend of Dracula? And Dracula, was he the first vampire? I think it was probably like Nosferatu, right? Tomorrow's Halloween. I'm gonna watch Nosferatu. I think for the first time. I might have seen it when I was younger. We're gonna find out. I guess I'm gonna be like, this is familiar, or I'm gonna be like, I've never seen this before. So I guess I'll find out. But Nosferatu's creepy in that movie. Most vampires are not that creepy. I don't know. Vampires can be kind of creepy, but like often it's like, oh, they just suck blood. Like I feel like often vampires and zombies. Well, zombies are scary. Vampires are often used more for like to tell other stories. I don't know than they are to be vampire. I feel like the most interesting vampire stories are like, What We Do in the Shadows. I think is a good use of vampires because it's explores it comedically and like I don't know. Vampires I don't think can be very scary. Even Dracula. Like, Dracula's not really scary, right? He's just, like, menacing, but, like, the story they tell is not really a horror story so much. It's just, like, look at this crazy guy. He's crazy. Nosferatu is a scary design. That's why he's scary. But vampires... Look, I don't have a lot to say here about vampires. I just thought it'd be a good topic. Let's stay for Halloween. Drink some blood, talk about vampires. This is some thick blood. They have a craving for blood. They don't need to drink blood, right? Like, they don't, maybe they're weaker. Vampire lore, I think, is probably the most inconsistent of, like, all creatures, probably. Like, all like, horror creatures. Zombies, they play around with it, but it's like they eat people and they're dead. They're undead. That's usually what it is. Vampires are undead, but it's like, are they really? Maybe they just were converted to a vampire and it's like now they don't have a pulse, but it's like they never really died. They just turned into a vampire. Well, zombies are like that too sometimes. I don't know what I'm talking about. Look, I'm just saying words about vampires, all right? Ugh. So I'm not sure how we got to this place with vampires in culture. I don't know why. Okay, here's another thing. I don't know why people think vampires are attractive. They're just people. What makes them attractive? They're pale. That they suck blood. What's the attractive part? That they're goth. You just like goth people then. You don't like vampires. Like, what's the thing that's... what is it? Like, any other things, like, if people are into werewolves, you know why they're into werewolves. If people are into... What else is there? I don't know. I can't think of any other spooky creatures that people are into. Skeletons? No. Skeletons are spooky, but they can also be funny. I don't know. Vampires, I think, overall are mostly just kind of boring. But they're a good addition to the lineup of Halloween creatures, I would say. But on their own, not always a super interesting story. Granted, I've only seen like Dracula, I think, as far as the classic vampire movies go. I thought that was pretty boring, to be honest. But maybe the one by Francis Ford Coppola, maybe that would be good. Maybe Bela Lugosi meets a Brooklyn Gorilla. Maybe that'd be a good movie. I don't know. Haven't seen them yet.